If Gallipoli symbolised the Anzac spirit in the First World War, then the Kokoda track is its Second World War equivalent. 50 years ago next year, a handful of young diggers clambered along the treacherous Kokoda track and became Australia's ragged last line of defence against a Japanese war machine which had swept unchecked through Asia and the Pacific. Hastily trained and untried in combat, the diggers were outnumbered and outgunned by their battle-hardened opponents. Nevertheless, they overcame the terrain, their inexperience and initial defeats to rally and to inflict the first defeat suffered by the Japanese. The Anzac spirit was rekindled. Today, almost half a century later, Kokoda has a special aura, an aura redolent of the spirit of those young diggers, a spirit of mateship, of courage and endurance, a spirit honoured by the inaugural Kokoda Epic Run. The Kokoda Epic will quite simply be the toughest athletic event on Earth, a foot race staged over 5 days down the track from Kokoda village to Owa's Corner. 100 kilometres of some of the most difficult terrain in the world. A race over the jungle path the diggers called the Bloody Track.
They've been using it apparently for some, over 25,000 years. The track hasn't changed in that time. And what happens is when the natives are using it, they all carry a machete, and in fact they use a machete, it's just like an extension of their arm. It's a work of art almost. But every time they walk past, step over a log or go past a tree, they just put a nick in it. And if there's a bit of a vine across, they'll just cut it. And it's that constant nicking and cutting that maintains an identity for the track. And that's all it is.
Race director of the Kokoda Epic, Charlie Lynn, has organised the Westfield Sydney to Melbourne Ultra Marathon since 1984. He created the Sydney Anzac Day Marathon and is a former state ultra distance record holder. He walked the track to plan the event.
Well, without doubt, it's the toughest thing I've ever done. I mean, I never ever envisaged that it would be that tough, and in fact it amazed me that we actually made it. My thoughts along the trail coming along there, I just wondered when I was thinking back to 1942 how diggers could actually focus on just making progress along the trail and having to keep a lookout for an enemy that, it's the ultimate camouflage along there. You just can't see a thing. It's treacherous, your footing, you're slipping and sliding all the time. The creeks are all flooded. It's really just it's the ultimate endurance challenge. I mean, I've competed in the Ironman event. I ran a 24-hour run. I've competed in all those ultra-endurance events myself. And I've walked this track, and I've done 21 years in the army, done some fairly severe adventure training in a number of different countries. There is just nothing to compare with this. It'll be the ultimate endurance test.
The test will be severe. The race will be run in stages like the Tour de France. The leader will head off each day, followed by other competitors according to their finishing times the day before. Day 1 will be from Kokoda to Myola, 42 kilometres, the world's toughest Olympic-length marathon, climbing from 300 metres to 2,000 metres above sea level. Day 2, from Myola to Afogi 1, a distance of 16 kilometres. Day 3, Afogi 1 to Naro, 19 kilometres, through swamp and precipitous terrain. Day 4, from Naro to Ophi Creek, 23 kilometres, involving a climb from 700 metres to 1,300 metres above sea level, and then a descent to 600 metres above sea level. The final stage, from Ophi Creek to the finish at Owa's Corner, a distance of 12 kilometres, which takes the runners over Imita Ridge and down the infamous Golden Staircase.
Trail running is big in America, for example. Well, this would be a trail that would shake their boots off. I mean, it would certainly attract people from the army. I think there's a lot of merit here for various armed forces personnel to get out here and see how fit they really are, and see how fit they really are in comparison to other armies. you know, a sort of a military endurance contest, I think it would be a classic.
Already the world's top runners are lining up to challenge the track. Runners like Yanis Kouros, the greatest ultra-distance runner the world has known. Also competing will be one of Australia's living treasures, Cliff Young. Cliff earned a place in sporting history when he won the first Westfield Run. He'll be 70 when the Kokoda Epic is run. But Cliffy's determined to run in the Epic because he was a Second World War digger, having served in Darwin. Other world-class athletes invited include ultra-racing pioneer Tony Rafferty, Westfield winner Dusan Moravali from Yugoslavia, Japan's Tomi Takaishi, and Russell Prince, New Zealand's world endurance champion. But these champions will have to overcome the remarkable local hero, Osborne Bogajiwai, who holds the track record of 28 hours. In addition to the elite athletes race, there'll be a military teams event and a corporate event featuring teams from around the world. The Papua New Guinea government has pledged its support for the event. Minister for Culture and Tourism, Mr. Aruru Matiabi.
I'm very pleased indeed about the plan to have this annual event because there are a lot of reasons for which I'm happy, and I believe many Papua New Guineans are also happy that it will bring many tourists to Papua New Guinea, and in particular it will bring back to Papua New Guinea, especially to Kokoda and also to the mountains up here, people who've actually fought over here. So I'm very, very pleased indeed about the proposal to have the Kokoda Epic Run next year.
World media interest will be focused on Papua New Guinea in November 1992 for the staging of the Kokoda Epic Run. The inaugural race will coincide with the 50th anniversary of the Australians' victory at Kokoda. The event will attract international network television coverage and will be the subject of a major documentary. But above all, the Epic Run will honour the memory of the diggers of Kokoda and will provide an inspiration for today's young men and women to keep the Kokoda spirit alive.